I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America,
and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
They have to get we have to give a. Yeah, like they need a. That's not coming tonight, no?
Evening. I want to welcome everyone to the Lower Gwinnett Township Board of Supervisors regular public meeting for Tuesday, September 30th, 2025. The Board of Supervisors met in executive session prior to tonight's meeting to discuss matters of litigation related to infrastructure and code enforcement and matters of real estate related to parks and open space. I want to start off, I want to start off our meeting by recognizing a very important person. On behalf of the Board of Supervisors, I want to take a moment to express our deepest gratitude to Mary, our Assistant Finance Director, for her 19 years of dedicated service for Lower Gwinnett Township. You began your career in 2006 as a billing clerk in the sewer department, and you moved to accounts payable in 2008. And through your hard work and commitment, you became an Assistant Finance Director, where you served with distinction ever since. Your professionalism, your strong work ethic, and your positive attitude have made you not only an invaluable employee, but a respected and admired colleague. Truly, words cannot express how much we have appreciated all that you have given to the township and the lasting impact of your work. As you begin your well-deserved retirement, please, we want you to know that you'll be greatly missed. We wish you nothing but happiness, good health, and fulfillment in this next chapter of your life. Tonight would like to present to you a citation. The Lower Gwinnett Township Board of Supervisors recognizes Mary Chesino for 19 years of service and dedication to Lower Gwinnett Township. Mary's work ethic and pleasant attitude will forever be remembered with gratitude and appreciation. We want to wish you a happy and well-deserved retirement. A coveted blanket.
Just snuggle those grandbabies in.
Thank you all for everything. It's been nothing but a pleasure. Thank you. Oh, do I have to? Hi, people online. It's been a real pleasure serving with this board. You're doing great things for this township, and I really appreciate it, everything. And it's been an opportunity to serve with all of you. It's bittersweet. I'm very much looking forward to it. And like I said before, the best part is I can leave here knowing I did my best for everybody. Thank you, everybody.
Don't be a stranger, Mary.
Thank you. Next on, we're going to move to a public hearing. I'm going to turn it over to our solicitor.
Thank you. This is a public hearing to consider an amendment to a conservation easement that was signed back in 1994. The conservation easement covers 77 acres that we all know as Penland Woods, that preserves that property in perpetuity. What's before the board this evening, pursuant to that declaration, is a possible amendment to the declaration that would include an adjacent 26-acre parcel of land within that conservation easement. And by including that 26-acre parcel of land, that land would no longer be subject to the possibility of development, and it would be preserved in perpetuity as open space. A public hearing is required under the terms of the existing voluntary declaration. The hearing has been advertised in the Reporter twice. Written notice was mailed to property owners within 500 feet. And in addition, the hearing was publicized on the township website. The court reporter is here this evening, so I'm sure he would want you to speak clearly and slowly if you're going to provide any commentary, make life easier for him. The first procedural item is I will mark certain exhibits. Township Exhibit 1 is the proposed Third Amendment to Declaration of Conservation Easement. Again, this is a document that would expand the conservation easement covering Penland Woods to the adjacent 26 acres. And I should point out, there's not going to be any change in ownership of the property. Lower Gwinnett Township will continue to own the property just as it does today. Exhibit number 2, notice of this hearing. Township Exhibit 3, proofs of publication from the Reporter newspaper with publication dates of August 28th and August 30th, 2025. Having marked those exhibits, I'll turn it over to the supervisors if there are any questions or comments.
Any questions or comments from the board?
Yes,
Yes.
from the super.
Oh, no, I was asking them. Do they have any? I was like, you have a question, Neil?
I'd like to make a comment. I'm very proud of this board for putting this property under easement for perpetuity. It's adjacent to land that we already have conserved, and it will be a great further addition to that lot. So thank you for that.
I concur with Tessie's remarks. Does anyone else have any additional remarks? No additional?
We turn it over to public comment.
Any questions or comments from the public? You can just come forward. You have to state your name and address. You have to pick it up just so that the people online can hear you. I think it is.
My
And you have to spell your last name for the court reporter.
Loughgery. Okay. My name is Larry Lockery. I have a couple properties that are adjacent there, and I'm just wondering if there's any future current plans for what that will be used for in the future.
Well, it's going to be subject to a conservation easement, so it's
True.
going to be preserved in its natural condition.
Okay, permanently then.
Yes.
Okay, so I was wondering what it was gonna be. Now, there's a little adjacent easement, I guess, that catches up to Township Line Road there. Is that a future plan to access that by crossing the creek there? You see a little tail that goes all the way out to Township Line Road? It's on the other side of Township Line Road. We're closer
Is
to.
that within the 26 acres?
Yes, that's it.
It's within the blue, right? It's.
Yes, it is. There's a little easement there, and I'm wondering if that's just.
That within the
There's
26
no
acres?
intended plans at this point for any future use of access.
Yeah, I don't think we have gotten
We
to the
own it.
point of discussing that.
It's within the 26 acres. It's owned by the
It's
township.
like a 20 or 25 foot easement there.
You're talking about
You
this
say-
little leg right
You say
here,
there's an
right?
ease.
Yeah, I think
There's an
we're-
easement there, if you looked on the map, that basically runs across there and attaches all the way up to the big box where you have the 26 acres.
It doesn't look like it's an easement. It looks like it's part
It's
of
part
the
of it.
property owned by the township.
yeah.
Okay, it's 20 or 25 feet. We understood.
It's within the 26
Yeah.
acre
So that,
conservation easement.
okay. So the question is that going to be an access point for those 26 acres?
I mean, can people walk into it?
Well, right now it's all trees or whatever.
It would be, it's.
It's gonna
open to the-
remain-
It will remain in its
Current state.
People will be able to
Okay.
walk into it if they're able to.
Yeah, we're not doing anything
We're
to
not
the,
paving it. It's not going to be a road.
no, we're not doing anything to the
So,
property.
They had opened up the bottom of Township Line Road, which I have 2 properties on. And I guess 4 or 5 years ago, where they put the bridge in.
Yeah.
And all that got open. So that's not the intent here then.
Mm-mm.
Okay, that's all my questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just leave this on.
You can leave it on.
Throw it in the holder. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any additional questions or comments from the public? Oh, somebody has their
We
hand.
do have, Gail Farmer has her hand raised.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Gail Farmer. Thank you. I'm the executive director at Wissahickon Trails, and we are a local environmental organization. Part of our mission is land preservation, and we are a landowner in Lower Gwinnett Township. We have 2 nature preserves in Lower Gwinnett, the Penland Natural Area and our Byrne Family Preserve. And I just want to thank the Board of Supervisors for their commitment to preserving the woods part of Penland Woods, as demonstrated by this extension of the existing conservation easement to include these additional forested acres. This parcel, from a conservation perspective, is really valuable with that maintain that contiguous woodland from Penland Woods into those 26 acres. And then also the Wissahickon Creek passes through the property. On behalf of my board of directors, I want to say thank you for your commitment to preservation of natural resources in the township. That's all.
Thank you. Any additional comments or questions from the public? None?
There is no specific deadline for the board to act, so you could take this under advisement or you could vote this evening to approve the amendment.
Okay. But as the board, we have this in front of us. We have this resolution.
It's not really a resolution.
That's what I was gonna say. I don't see the resolution
It would be a
number.
motion to approve.
Motion. So under consideration, as a solicitor advised, we can just hear the testimony that was provided, or we can actually take a motion. I would like to make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you
Can
all.
consider the hearing closed. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have citizens' comments, questions, or concerns for items that are not on the agenda. Any questions, comments, or concerns on items not on the agenda? If you can just come up and state your name and address. Are you okay?
There's some liability.
Yeah.
My name, you hear me?
You just gotta pick it up so the people online can.
My name is Keith Binsfeld. Oh, he doesn't need it. Binsfeld. 616 Penland Pike, Lower Gwinnett. It was kind of fantastic that Gail had said she had promoted the segue and contiguous preservation. So I'm here with my wife and my awesome neighbors, surprisingly, and because we had just found out about the meeting earlier today. And we were surprised to hear that there wasn't anyone aware of, at least so forth in Lower Gwinnett Township, not in a bad way, of PICO's plans for air quotes, improvements, specifically on Penland Pike. Had anyone been contacted, or not that they have to, because, if you've driven down Penland Pike from here in the last couple of weeks, you'll see probably 100-ish pink ribbons. Those represent the trees that PICO has decided that are potential detriment, again, using air quotes for those of us that aren't here, to what they are calling service improvements. You may have seen that they have lodged telephone poles next to the telephone poles, or that's what I call them, that are in place. Unfortunately, the removal of the trees is not limited to the pink ribbons, as some of our neighbors shushed them off their property. And additionally, next to our property is the Natural Lands Preserve, and the quote unquote representative from PICO was unsure how to tag those trees to come down. His words, not mine. We had actually received a written proposal at our house to remove 8 sycamore trees. Now, I'm not an arborist. The sycamore trees, for those who are unfamiliar, are those big, beautiful 60-foot, 50-foot trees with those peeling barks, and in my opinion, are the staple of not just Lower Gwinnett, or not just our street, but Lower Gwinnett. So we had received the communication that they're going to take down 8 sycamore trees, which is all but one. They're going to, well, not take down, they're going to hack down to a stump. And then they're going to dramatically cut back one at the edge of our driveway. They're also going to alleviate or remove, not remove, chop down to a stump, 15 additional trees just on our property. Literally, almost every sycamore tree on Penland Pike in Lower Gwinnett is tagged for destruction. So we and our neighbors on Penland. Now, let me hit pause for a quick second, because we had received a notice of this proposal, which we were asked to sign and send back. Yesterday, my wife called me. Our daughter had gotten home from school, and there were 2 random men in our backyard with 2 commercial mowers and chainsaws, and they had already chopped down a tree in our yard without any notification, in addition to the tagged trees, allegedly part of PICO's improvement plan. So we wanted to let everybody know, as we have spoken to our neighbors right away. You can imagine the outrage. We have lovely neighbors who are around the corner here as well. Thank you. Because I believe Dager has how many fish, did you say? A multitude of trees looking to come down. All of these trees line the trail that is an easement on our property, is an easement on the preserve, and all of the surrounding, going right up through Wissahickon High School. So my wife did some amazing research this morning, and all these actions are in direct disregard to Lower Gwinnett Township's call to preserve land and protect our natural beauty. And I apologize. I tripped over my battery bank that was on my fancy wireless thing here, so my notes are a little disjointed. So don't let that impact the message here. But we're hoping, well, obviously, we're going to have loss of shade, clean air. We already have some flooding issues on our street. The economic value of those mature trees, if you want to look at Elliger Park, I'm in real estate. Elliger Park is Upper Dublin side of Ambler. The tornado came through. They were decimated. They have no trees. They replanted. It's not the same. And that has affected home values. But our natural path and pathways, that we preserve, they're going to be gone. You will be walking along with cars on Penland Pike and Dager Road. So we were hoping to raise awareness and ask for consideration and assistance, because we believe that although there are easements for PICO, which are very vague in their descriptions on our properties, and I would say that if you look at the easement on the Natural Lands Preserve side of Penland Pike, are in direct contention with the preservement of the preserve. Sorry to use the word in the definition, because it very specifically states, if I have it in a pack of papers behind me, but we'll get there, that there is no deforestation unless it's a nuisance tree, or it's infested, or it's killed by natural causes and is now a detriment, to remove the rest. So we're looking for awareness and support to have them reconsider chopping down, not even chopping down. They're going to leave the stumps. They take the debris, but they don't take the stumps. The 135, the 167-year-old, specifically sycamores in this case, along Penland and Dager. There are more. This is all I'm familiar with at this point. But it was very disturbing to run home from work yesterday to find two men who had no paperwork, affiliation with PICO, or, well, I'll share this. I don't know if this matters at this point, but they had a drawing of what they thought was a gas line easement across our collective properties, and they started chopping trees down based on it, and it's wrong. Fortunately, my daughter got home from school when she did, and we were able to stop this part was unannounced. But they did cut down one tree so far.
So and I apologize that all of this happened to you, because it sounds like a lot. It sounds like even if some parts were communicated to you, some things were not. And I think that's unsettling as a homeowner or just a resident in general. I appreciate you bringing it to our attention.
Thank you. And when I meant to preface by saying, not that they had to tell you, you need to be aware, like that's not like, I'm like, well, you guys need to know, because
I think that's good that we know. I know that there is a Penland electric upgrade project, and that is on our website, and it kind of speaks to some of the upgrades that PICO anticipates doing. I don't think that in any way accounts for maybe all of what you went through yesterday or just hearing about. So I appreciate you.
that actually is what's specifically referenced in the letter.
So it's like you got the Penland project letter and the fact sheet related to the upgrades to the electrical equipment that they're planning or hoping to do through a grant that they received.
After they started sticking poles in our yard.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then telling us the
Yeah.
trees are going to go with it.
Yeah.
And, oh, I'm sorry.
Have you reached out to PICO? This happened so fast, I understand, but can you reach out to PICO and get more information about their intent?
So yes. So the arborist, again, I'm using air quotes because they're contracted by PICO.
Right.
So my definition of an arborist would not be the one that tags every tree that's in the way of technology or progress. Yes, communicated with him. 2 of our neighbors did. And we received very, very passive, yeah, we'll look into that. You'll look into, but Asplen's going to show up in the next 2 weeks and chop everything down is the bottom line.
Yeah.
So I know that their goal was to survey the area and to contact property owners. I don't think that the way that this has been communicated to you is really acceptable. But I know that we have liaisons with PICO that we can reach out to and give them this feedback. We can also make sure that our state rep and our state senator are aware that this is some of the, and they also have a liaison. So I appreciate you bringing it to us and advising us of what has transpired just so recently. I don't think we have heard. Have we heard? We did hear.
So when we first, my name's Mimi Gleason, I'm the township manager. And a few weeks ago, a neighbor had heard that this was happening, not one of the property owners along Penland Pike, but had called attention to the fact that a lot of trees on natural lands property, I guess, were getting tagged and people were starting to realize it. So I reached out to the government liaison at PICO for Montgomery County, who said that they'd been in communication with natural lands, that the arborist had identified that many of the trees were already diseased and dying, and that natural lands had given them permission to remove the trees. So our staff reached out to natural lands just to confirm that. And natural lands did confirm to us that that was all true, that they had agreed to allow the trees to come down. So
That was probably along Dagger Road, though, not Penland.
Penland Pike, no, on Penland Pike.
No trees have been taken down on Penland.
That were not taken down yet, but identified to be removed. That's my understanding. Maybe I was wrong and had. the
So
street.
our neighbor leases that land under the conservation easement. And he spoke with them. That was not communicated to him. In fact, he was regretful for not being able to be here. But they're not diseased. And they're
I'm
not
just
marked.
repeating what we heard. I do not
Yeah.
know about that. But so what I can tell you is if you I can try to put you in touch with the government liaison from Montgomery County, who may be somebody different at PICO. She works for PICO, and see if you could get any more information.
I think we should
that-
facilitate a conversation because I mean, I'm not an arborist either. So I take their word if they say something is diseased or not. And I'm assuming our township staff do as well. But I mean, that is their goal, is to identify diseased or dead trees so that,
No, their goal was to take out anything that
Yeah, listen,
potentially
I
interferes.
think their goal is to have less interference with the power delivery service, and they'll take out trees that interfere with that, living or dead. I think that I think is what the goal is.
Sure.
But I'll tell you that because we're engaged in a massive examination and removal of dead trees on township property in that area, and there are a ton of dead trees.
yeah.
I don't
Just
disagree.
a
Yeah.
ton of dead and dying trees. The problem is that the township has very, very little power over a government-based or over a
Public
big
utility.
public utility. Thank you.
Mhm.
And I'm not sure. This is just a really unfortunate situation, and I completely sympathize with you, but I don't know. I'd like to say there's something we could do, but I'm not sure there is anything that we can do.
I would like the liaison to just know how it has been handled with respect to at least your property, because their communications that went out said that they would have in-person contact with homeowners if trees on their property needed to be removed.
Yeah.
So if they haven't done that, I mean, that's something the liaison should definitely be aware of, because they should at least be having those conversations. You shouldn't be surprised that strangers are on your property.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I suspect
would we be
It's not
concerned?
on It's not trees on your property, right? It's trees in the
was
utility
saying
right of way.
No, it's on my property.
Not in the right of way, not in the utility easement.
Some are, some aren't.
Well, he was saying, so there was
So
a
if you wanna-
suspected gas line that they thought was going through your backyard, and that's when
They
they.
just got it wrong.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's a childish drawing that I was provided by the person coming out to chop down trees, and where he suspected the gas line to be was
We see it. I
incorrect.
truly can't tell what that is.
Yeah, I'm
Is it an
sorry.
aerial view?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So are you telling us all those sycamores or plane trees along Penland there at the intersection with Dager are going to be cut down?
Every single sycamore except that I'm aware of, except the one at the edge of our property, which has a yellow tag on it, which is going to be pruned substantially,
Yeah.
is going to be removed.
So I think that is going to make a really, a very terrible thing for that street. I'm with you because I think everyone who drives in that area appreciates those beautiful trees, not to mention people hiking on our township trails along there.
So if you read the original verbiage of the easements that granted that trail, it was for the preservation of a natural pathway. And allegedly, apparently, they have jurisdiction to schwack anything within so many feet of the easement. And
It's unfortunate.
the language is very, very vague
Right.
from a legal perspective. I mean, and then, but it doesn't, what it doesn't speak to is like, okay, stormwater management, we have problems on Penland. You have flooding issues, a multitude. You take down 27 Sycamore, it's going to get worse.
Yeah, no, that's
The path is going to
that's a
wash
little
out.
ecological disaster there, but is there, Neil, is there anything we can look at from the township perspective on that land if it was set aside for trails?
Well, unfortunately, Upper Dublin, like 2005-ish, tried to regulate PECO's tree removal activities. Case went up to the Commonwealth Court. Commonwealth Court said PECO is governed by the Public Utility Commission. They have absolute jurisdiction and authority to do whatever they want when it comes to removal of vegetation.
I know Asplund is brutal. Even if they're just pruning a tree, it ends up looking like a,
Yeah,
Dr. Seuss tree.
there you go. That's us right there. So every single tree you see on Penland, because they're all on our side of the street where the power lines are, will be gone.
And I don't know really a lot of the details about what they plan to do, but this is a multi-year project to try to have more reliable electricity. My understanding is this is a portion of the township where there are electric and extended electric outages. often
I'm
enough.
so glad you brought that up.
And so the
So
one,
I've lived there almost 5 years. We've had one power outage.
Really?
I think the.
And that was because some knucklehead drove into the transformer.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I've lost my power 3 times this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. We lived in Ambler Borough for 16 years and the power would go out every other minute.
Yeah.
And the
How
one
often
last
would
thing
you
I
say
just
you
wanted to
lose
put is
power?
They're going to put new poles in there. That's the only thing I know about this project
Well,
is it's no new poles. And
yeah.
that's why they want to remove.
Is there some way we can ask them to bury the lines instead of cutting down all the trees?
No, we can't. They preempt all of that, unfortunately. But maybe we can.
So
maybe-
Steve, this is our neighbors, the Bill's house right here. Every single one of those trees on the left will be gone.
Oh, I live right off Gypsy Hill. That's a bummer.
And this entire, that was founded as the farm, the Ingersolls and then the Smiths. And they were a staple. I mean, I'm not trying to put it out there that it's a historic thing, but if you ask anybody that drives down that street, if those trees were gone, I mean,
We all drive down that street. We all live here. We're your neighbors. I mean, I think everyone is saddened to hear that this is going to transpire and that it's inevitable that it's going to transpire, mainly because we don't have any authority. Like the Public Utility Commission has complete authority. The best that we can do, I think at this moment, is to try and put you and for our staff to get in contact with the government relations. Having a conversation might be the only path forward that we have, because once the determination is made by them, they have jurisdiction and we do not. I appreciate you coming forward and telling us. I don't think them being in your backyard without you knowing that, without them having a conversation, that's definitely something I think that,
I'm actually glad that happened, or I wouldn't have been here tonight.
yeah.
It was a small sacrifice for a bigger cause, I think.
I think I appreciate you coming and highlighting it, because while it's on our website, I don't know how many people are perusing the website and are aware. Conversation with the government relations and our state senators, our state representatives, those would be the best paths as it relates to, they have liaisons and government relations individuals that they speak to regularly. So ensuring that you have that communication with them and telling us, and it being in a public meeting, hopefully lets others know.
Yeah.
Our hands are tied as to what we can do, though.
I appreciate that. Any opposition to us raising a tremendous amount of public awareness and
No,
getting everybody behind the,
I think you should do all that
if,
you
if,
can.
if, if
You
they
have
so
free
choose?
speech, sir. You don't need to ask us. You have
No,
free
no, no,
speech.
no, I don't know. Well, I appreciate it and thank you guys.
Thank you.
Do
for
I need a
coming.
permit to put a sign on my lawn? Oh, I'll come back for that. I follow the rules, usually. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
For coming out.
Appreciate you all coming out.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Any additional questions or comments on items not on the agenda? Hey, ma'am. You just have to state your name and your address.
I'm Donna Wesley. I live at 707 Kyle Lane in Lower Gwinnett, which comes out at Degger Road. My question is, okay.
I don't think they can hear you online. You can pull it out. There you go.
When Asplund cuts down all those trees, and if you go down Degger Road and look at how they decimated that area last year and the year before, there's felled trees that are just left there. It looks terrible. Can they not take away their debris? There's logs. I mean, I guess they take away all the smaller limbs with all the leaves, but they leave everything else. Thank you.
Thank you.
Some of that might be, Fred might know more, but I don't want to call you out, but don't they leave it, some of it for like the ecosystem, or there's some reason? Okay.
Yeah, I would say the ecosystem would be if the tree felled itself, not them cutting it down.
Yeah.
And when you walked along that trail and you looked at some of those trees, I thought, that looks like a healthy tree to me. It doesn't look like it's diseased. I mean, somebody needs to have them accountable for some of the trees that they're taking down. Thank you.
So on Dagger, by our trail, we took down several trees. That wasn't all Pico. Some are going to be left, but some we just haven't gotten back to clean up. Pico, funny enough, is going to take down some trees at Oxford Park. Same thing with that. And I asked them on their notification to remove the wood, and they said, no, their policy is what they can chip, they'll chip. Unless it's extremely large, they just leave it. They'll cut it and stack it for you, but they won't take it. That's their policy. I don't know how fair that is to people,
Oh,
especially who don't have the means to clean it up themselves,
Right.
but that's,
And we can't.
we got the same answer that they did. They'll chip up the underbrush, but they leave the logs.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, actually, leaving the logs is is a beneficial thing for the environment. However, if it's not attractive when you're walking down the trail, or if it gets on someone's property, that's another thing, because we are interested in maintaining the trails in a beautiful way. If the logs can be out of the way, they will decay eventually and go back into to earth with fungus and so forth. But yeah, Asplund is not very aesthetic in what they do. They just chop. That's unfortunate.
I thank you for bringing it to our attention because at least we can utilize that as another talking point to share with
Yeah.
the government relations. So I don't know if it'll make any change as to their policies, but we can attempt to make them aware. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any additional? You can come on up. Any additional? You just need to state your name and your address.
I'm Jeff Bill, 600 Penland Pike. So you had the picture up there of my property. So how this all occurred was 2 weeks ago, I noticed somebody on our property. Fortunately, I was home and they were tagging all the trees. So he would have continued to tag my trees, but I stopped him. And then they said there was going to be a head arborist so that's my property right there on that's Keith's property over there, and I'm down here where your arrow is, yes. So on Penland Pike, I have like five sycamore trees, and it goes off and goes around the old Ingersoll farm, which we are the original gatehouse, and then the estate house and the barn in the back. So what I'm bringing up is it just wasn't communicated. If I didn't find out, Keith wouldn't have known, then that noise wouldn't have happened. So we just feel like we're on our own, and now we're in front of you
Yeah.
and you're under, you don't have any power either.
Yeah, no, but don't feel bad for being in front of us and bringing it to us. We appreciate that and being aware of it. I think the communication from Pico, they articulated to us how they plan to communicate to you. We trusted that that's how it was going to be delivered and communicated. It's
Right.
unfortunate to hear that that's not an efficient way as to how they moved forward. We were aware it was happening, just not the time frame exactly.
Right, so we've been working on this, but just to take notice so this is the historic, so these are heritage trees,
Mhm.
okay? I'm in the business, I'm not an arborist, but I'm
Mhm.
a landscape contractor. And the trees are, on the original farm, there's basically the historical center of our township with
Mhm.
the
The Ingersoll.
Ingersoll, but it was Smith of Smith Barney's originally.
Mhm.
So what I want to try and do is if they take the poles on the opposite side of the newer homes versus the preserved, there's not a lot, there's some swamp maples and a lot of junk. So if they cross the street there and go all the way up that they're eventually going over, they can stay away from this property on the historic property where all the sycamores, Bright's Lane wasn't there in 1965. I have.
No, I know.
In 65, it just was the farm.
You have a
Okay.
picture, you have a real picture.
And we weren't even prepared I just found out about this 15 minutes ago. I don't read my text, so it's all right. Wasn't your fault. You gotta put Maria on that link, all right? So this was the old farm, and we just want to try and see if we can pursue it to put it up the other side of the street. So when you go, my point of coming up here, when you go
Try
to
to
work
go-
and you traffic that way, look at the opposite side of the road. There
Yeah.
are alternatives. See, that's my house right there. So they're gonna take that tree down. They put this pole up. So if you continue this way, you can see there's 3 or 4 on my property. But on this side, if you go up that way, there's junk birch trees. This guy has bamboo that's an issue every year. Okay, but there's no junk right
Yeah,
there. They
I'm
could
not
just,
sure you're,
Get the
I'm not sure
streets
your
on.
neighbors across the way are gonna feel that. But look, it's, look.
I
if
mean,
you
look
get
at it,
lots
there-
of Pico to do it, great.
but it's an historic side
Yeah.
and then houses that are 20 years old.
No, I'm
I'm not sure
grateful.
they're gonna see it that way, but I
Yeah.
understand your.
I'm grateful you brought this to our attention, and hopefully I don't know, maybe conversations with the liaison will
Yeah,
help.
but like, how would you like somebody just start putting nails in your tree?
Oh, absolutely.
It
No.
was-
And I love your property, by the way. I walk by, my kids
Thank
love
you.
the chickens.
Yes,
We're off
that's-
Jissy Hill and
Yes.
we love those chickens.
Walk
What
by
happens
your,
to a lot of us, the project is really, really big. It's gonna affect a lot of the
Yeah.
township. It's not just gonna be you. I mean, I saw the map of it.
Mhm.
This is just the first phase.
but to be fair,
It's awful.
your trees are more beautiful than anybody else's.
Yeah.
So
My trees I take care
No, I know. I walk
Yeah.
by there all the
And
time.
the trails, I mean, yeah.
Thank you.
Hopefully.
Thank you.
We can have a
Thank you for
productive
coming out.
conversation with Pico. We'll do our best.
Maybe we can chain ourselves to the trees.
Do we have any additional comments from the public on items not on the agenda?
Come on the other side.
We haven't gotten past public comment, ma'am.
Oh, that's my fault.
Is there any other comments on items not on the agenda? Seeing none, I'm going to move on to consideration of the authorization to amend our F district regulations and zoning maps. Before I let our colleagues speak to us, included in our board packet is a memo from our assistant township manager going over the proposed ordinance amendments in detail. And this would be, I think, the third time they're before us related to this. Is there any questions from the board beforehand on the memo that's included in the board packet? No, I'll turn it over to you, Ms. Pianza.
Good evening, Kristen Pianzio from Hamburg, Rubin, Mullen, Maxwell, and Lupin. Yes, we have been here a number of times. Last time was August 26th. We had our whole team here. We had architects, we had engineers, we had the owners of the property. Tonight, it's me and Matt Siegel, the owner of the property. We had answered lots of questions and went through a lot of discussion last time, but we left with 2 items on my list to investigate. One was beefing up the definition of the self-storage facility to include language that would prohibit hazardous materials in the building. So I did some research with self-storage facilities that I represent, reached out to some of my clients to get samples from their leases, provided that language to your solicitor and assistant manager and manager, and beefed up that definition, adding the second sentence to the definition to be sure that all agreements to use the facility shall include language that prohibits the storage or use of any hazardous or toxic materials or any inherently dangerous or flammable substances. So I thought that would close the loop on that issue. And Chairwoman Duckett, you were interested in the trees along the frontage of the property. So we hired an arborist and we had him go out and we had an inventory done of those trees all along that frontage. We had him do an inventory. We have that to share with you. I have hard copies here. I'm going to do this quickly because I know you have a lot of other things to do, but I did want to show you that we did do our homework and I want to share that with you.
Thank you.
So Matt is here if I need assistance. So this picture here, the arborist went out and tagged all the trees that are in the area where the apartments are proposed. So that's the first sheet. The second sheet, he went through and did an inventory. I submitted all the supporting documentation that goes along with this data. This is just the summary in order for us to be brief here. But his report, all of his photographs, his charts and graphs are all part of what I submitted to the township. That's on file. That can all be reviewed as part of the land development application. But just for your edification, he went through and identified what's in good condition, what's fair, and what's in poor condition. And just for your benefit, the trees 11 through 18 are along the frontage and they are in front of the building. They would not need to be disturbed in order for the building to be constructed. Out of those trees, in his opinion, only 11 is in good shape that could be saved. The others could stay. That's something that we could discuss during the land development process. In his opinion, they should be removed, but we don't really have an opinion. So as we move forward, we can discuss with you as we, go through the land development application, whether or not you would like them to stay, or we supplement those with other plantings. You have landscaping requirements that would be, younger trees, but we can show you that those trees have been accounted for. He also accounted for, there's a cluster of 3 trees. They're tagged as number 1. They're healthy. We can relocate those. That was his recommendation, so clearly we will do that. And he also identified a willow oak that would need to be potentially relocated. That's also a healthy tree. So we did have him go out and do that so that you had an idea of what would stay and what would go. I think that was your concern, and we did that for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's all we have.
Any additional questions or concerns from the board?
So, I'm sorry. What is the conclusion of how many trees would need to be removed?
According to the arborist, his recommendation is 1, 2, 3, 6,
Is it 6 removal?
13, 14. He
Well, then-
recommends that
and then
14
some
out of the
relocation.
18 be removed.
Oh, you're adding the
14 out of the
location.
18.
Yes, he feels are unhealthy and should be removed.
Okay.
Are you combining the relocation and removal for building together, or are you talking about the ones that are in poor quality?
Matt, you want to help?
So his are either invasive species or in poor condition are the ones he's
That he's saying?
recommending to be removed.
Okay.
The notes all the way off to the right in this column, they're my notes of,
Oh, those are
we,
your notes.
we are happy to keep them if you want us to. But his comment in the management column to be removed is what he's suggesting. But again, the ones on the right, the ones that are outside the building envelope or the parking lot envelope, we're happy to keep if you want us to.
Okay.
We favor not removing trees that are healthy, so.
Yeah, most of the ones that are outside of the envelope are in poor condition, which is why he's suggesting they be removed.
Okay.
And his photos and his report is part, the township has that data.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any additional questions or comments from the board? Any questions or comments from the public? Seeing none, we have before us this memorandum and the, the testimony that we received over a number of meetings related to the proposed change to our F district regulations and zoning map boundaries for amber yards to propose self-storage and apartment development. I think the consideration in front of us is to authorize staff to initiate the formal process to amend the F district regulations and zoning map boundaries, which would include an advertisement of a legal notice for the amber yards proposed self-storage and apartment developments. That's what's before us for consideration. I'd like to make a motion to that effect. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Hope to see you soon.
Yeah.
Yes. Next up, we have consideration of Gwinnett Point. I think we're calling it Gwinnett Point. Mr. Penna?
Hello again. Since the last meeting, we had the open house at my event facility in my market. Went very well. I think we had around 50 or so residents that came out for it. Took some questions, had some one-on-ones, some good feedback. A lot of the feedback was similar to the feedback that was in here. I submitted a new plan. Biggest issue that came out was obviously the current traffic situation now, but also really green and landscaping. I had several conversations about specific landscaping for the site. The nice part is they got to walk around our site and see what we had in terms of landscaping there. There's a couple things about this plan now that have changed, specifically around impervious coverage and green space. We took the parking lot looking items out, spread them around the site a little bit. The density here for the ordinance is 57 units with a commercial component if need be. We reduced that down to 52. It fit comfortably in here. We have no commercial component. It was loud and clear that commercial is just not wanted here. Traffic is not something that residents want to deal with. So we left this as a 52 unit development, spread out the parking. The impervious coverage for this zoning is 75% allowable. This site currently existing conditions is 30%. This plan only goes to 46%. So there's over 4 acres of green space on this site now with the parking reconfigured. It also has 1-to-1 parking ratio, overflow parking ratios per unit. So there are 52 spaces here as well, which was a big point back from staff and B&Z, was to make sure we had ample parking. So with the garage, driveways, and overflow, there's 260 spaces for people to park in this development. The triangle piece at the end where it meets with Cedar Hill and North Bethlehem, we shaved some of that back so we could get the intersection to be more of a 90-degree angle as opposed to a 45-degree angle. It's depicted on the bottom. We also, that obviously will go to PennDOT, and PennDOT will dictate, you know, what they want to see as well. Our goal is to keep that triangle as naturally preserved as possible. There might be something in the interior of it where the home and the impervious coverage is now for stormwater management towards the left of the houses. But other than that, our plan is to try to keep that undisturbed. We did align the driveway up top. We did that last time to align with the entrance to Gwinnett Estates, I think that one is, right?
Llewellyn Estates.
Sorry, Llewellyn
Yeah.
Estates. And that was it. So this plan is, kind of takes all that feedback into account, and this is what we have. So we're asking the board to extend the overlay district to this site north of Summit Pike. It's the same zoning that we used at Fairland Village. A little less density than we had at Fairland Village, but the same concepts, and that plan fits to the zoning specifications for the overlay. In addition to that, it was asked to make a text edit to the zoning ordinance itself with regards to parking. You can read it here as well, but basically to have a 1-to-1 ratio for parking, to have overflow parking, ample overflow parking. For a townhome development, this meets and exceeds that. So this doesn't necessarily come into play here unless the board or the planning commission feels that less parking is required or desired. So with that, if there's any other questions, happy to answer.
Any questions from the board?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Penny. I think this is a great improvement over your previous design, and I'm glad to hear you spoke to the residents around the area. So that's good news. I want to ask I guess Danielle and Mike, how does this fit with our long-range plan that's being developed?
Comprehensive plan?
Yeah.
So the comprehensive plan is kind of more recommendations. And so they give us proposals and they give us things that we could work towards, but it's much more of a big picture. They're not making explicit recommendations.
yeah,
And I know
but-
they haven't presented to us yet, but one of the things that they are going to speak to is that there is a lack of diversity as it relates to housing in Lower Gwinnett. I don't know if this truly addresses that. But that is one of the recommendations that they have, and there also is recommendations as we move forward for increased housing. But when the entire comprehensive plan, I think it comes before us, it'll be a better understanding of the larger picture as we move forward.
Okay, I thought that there was no expectation that there would be multiple mixed-use areas.
No, I wouldn't say that at all.
Oh, okay. So as you understand it so far, this is not in conflict.
No, not at all.
It's not contrary to that.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Any additional questions or comments? I'm sorry. Does anybody? Oh, I'm sorry. Does anybody else have any additional questions or comments? I was talking to the board first, and then I'm going to throw it out to you guys in 1 second. Anybody else from the board have any questions or comments? No? Anybody from the public want to come up and make a question or comment? Feel free to come up.
I'm Carrie Levinson. We live at 12, my wife Linda, we live at 1204 Cedar Hill Road. Again, it's if you're going north on Bethlehem Pike, you turn right on to Cedar Hill Road. It's the second house property and on the right. I just have two questions, and I apologize. You may have already answered these, but I was just having some trouble hearing, and I may be a little vague on some of the process. At what point in the process does the township consider imposing restrictions or conditions on the approval? Does that happen after it goes to the planning commission?
It would be at the conditional use hearing.
I'm sorry?
At the conditional use hearing is when we.
In other
review-
words, if let's
But-
assume that you favor this, you say, hey, this is not a bad idea to have a development up there. And then you have my understanding is that under this particular zoning ordinance, that the township, when it approves this, can impose some sort of restrictions on it. Is that not correct?
Well, this isn't a conditional use. We're amending.
I'm
I'm sorry. So this
no,
is.
it's my fault.
No,
I
no, no,
can't
you're,
hear.
you're fine. This is not a conditional use. This is we're amending an existing zoning district in order to extend it. But I don't know, I'll let our solicitor tell you the official terminology.
Yeah, the first step would be changing the zoning ordinance and the zoning map to allow the extension.
When you
of-
say changing the zoning ordinance, you're going to modify the existing ordinance?
It's a
or are you
text
going to change
amendment.
the zoning map?
It's a text amendment plus a map change.
And why would you be amending the zoning ordinance?
Well, we have, for example, additional parking language that we want to include in the ordinance. But the crux of it is really the extension of the Lower Pike Overlay District. Once that's done, the applicant will have to file a conditional use application, and the board does have the authority to impose conditions
At that point?
at
That's
that
what I
point on the
thought.
grant of the
Okay.
conditional use.
Okay, so.
So we're at the first part of it.
That's fine. The second question I have is maybe a little premature, but is the zoning, is the board going to rely or engage its own traffic engineer, or you're going to pretty much rely upon the applicant's traffic engineer?
Our traffic engineer is sitting right there. His name's Chad Dixon from Bowman.
Good. Well,
We enjoy
met.
Chad, so we try to engage with him as much as possible.
We met. We met.
Our
No,
traffic
my-
engineer will be engaged to review
It
whatever
would be an
they,
independent traffic
It's not
engineer by the
Always,
township.
yeah.
nothing's going to be rubber stamped.
It used to be that way. I just
Well,
wasn't sure what your practice.
We always, yeah, we're gonna
Okay.
continue that way.
Thank you very much. That's
Thank
it.
you, sir. Any additional questions or comments from the public? You can just state your name and your address.
Hello, Kevin Gentlecourt, 1250 Rossett Court. So I live at the Reserve at True Ellen, which is going to be right across the street from the proposed development. I'm very much in favor of it. I think we can trust Pete Penna to really do a great job and to build a development which will reflect the beauty and the quality that we're used to in our township. Myself and a number of my neighbors feel that it will have a very positive impact on our property values as well. We're very concerned that the property is currently zoned commercial. And the very last thing that we want to see across the street from us is a commercial building. So we really are excited, especially since Pete has such a great reputation as a builder, but also we can see exactly what he has created in the Fairview Village development there. So I'm confident, and it will be the development will be our neighbors. We're looking forward to that. I guess the only concern, and I'm sure it'll be worked out over time, is, well, getting in and out of the development, that type of thing. But I think I covered pretty much everything I wanted to cover. So thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming out, Mr. Gentlecourt. It's always a pleasure to see you. Sir.
Thank you.
Any additional questions or comments? Seeing none. So we have in front of us, I guess, the consideration to authorize the advertisement of a legal notice to amend to amend the zoning ordinance regulations in the zoning map boundaries of the Lower Pike Overlay District for a proposed townhouse redevelopment of Springhouse Nursery and surrounding properties. That is what's before us today. I'd like to make that motion. Is there a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so much. Motion is approved. Next, we have consideration of an overview of the location of our batting cages at Ingersoll Park and our conditional use process. I think I'm turning that over to our engineer, Mr. Hirsch. Ooh. You can come on up, or you don't want to come up?
Oh, I don't care.
Okay.
Missed a song, Jimmy.
You can stretch your legs.
I think there's a plan in there, Jamie. There should be.
Oh, that gentleman left his picture. Oh, well. We'll get it back to us for us. No, this is the picture of his backyard and the gas line. Sorry.
He might want this one back also. Mimi?
Yes, thank you. Oh, he has more.
That was
No,
the
this is,
chicken.
oh, he left his historic pictures. That was a different man.
That's the guy with the chicken.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay. So as the board will remember, this current phase of improvements at Ingersoll Park contained a batting cage pavilion in the outfield area near the McCormick House. That batting cage would be paid for by the Little League. The township the Township Public Works would be providing some services to clear the area, create the pad, but the Little League would pay their contractor to build this. It's a pole barn, pole structure. We had it shown on the plan that I showed you the last time we were here as being kind of rotated a little bit and pushed back towards the outfield fence, like dead center field. After Fred and myself met with the Little League, I think it makes more sense from a site standpoint to locate it as shown on this plan, which is rotated to be square with Old Penland Pike. It would be 20 feet from the McCormick House, whereas before it was only 10 feet. So there's just more room for everyone to work, and then for it to be kind of located a little bit further away from there. Plus, the access to and from this goes the long way, the way that the batting cages are set up. So it makes more sense not to have the access so tight along McCormick House and also the outfield fence. So what we wanted to discuss tonight, I just wanted to give you an overview. The parcel is zoned municipal district, and the municipal district front yard setback is 50 feet. That batting cage there to fit in with everything is 25 feet from the right-of-way of Old Penland Pike. So it does not meet the 50-foot setback. There is a provision in the zoning ordinance that allows the township, the Board of Supervisors, through a conditional use process to grant relief for municipal uses, which this is. So the Little League, similar to what they did with the scoreboards, is going to file or has already filed a conditional use application, which will go to the Planning Commission in October. And if recommended by the Planning Commission, you guys would have a hearing on October 28th. I think you guys have a board meeting. So I just wanted to give an update so you guys would, so the board could understand that this is coming, and maybe get any kind of feedback that you might have so we can take it back to the Little League.
Jim, are the batting cages, is that a property line that's going through the end of the batting cage?
Yeah, so what it is when the township purchased the McCormick property, there was no lot consolidation that happened. So it's two parcels in common ownership, being the township as the owner. And similarly, when they were not combined, the zoning district line, the McCormick House is Zone D, and the parcel, the park is municipal district. So the map was never amended and there was no lot consolidation. So like it technically is a property line that exists, but because they're in common ownership.
Is that something we need to address? Neil, do we need to?
I don't think we need to address it immediately. I do notice the zoning line goes through the batting cages. Is that
Yeah.
right?
The zoning line does go through the batting cages. However, the setback in the D district is 10 feet. So it would comply with the setback in the D district. So that's why I didn't think that it,
So that existing, I'm sorry, is that the zoning line or is that little trail?
It's the property line and
it's
the
a
zone.
property line and a zoning line.
Oh,
Both.
okay.
Where is the batting cage going to be enclosed like as it is now with the netting?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So you'll see the posts from the pole barn structure, but then there will be netting all around the.
And a roof, obviously.
Yeah, 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 and it gets a roof as
Okay.
well.
We don't have to worry about balls flying onto Old Penland Pike or.
No,
Okay.
So the,
Cool.
is the path going to, so this is showing that the path is going to be relocated, the existing path that currently kind of wraps around. So that's not going to be there anymore because the batting cage will be in the way.
yes. So if you're familiar with the area, which I'm sure
Yeah,
you are,
yeah.
there's a concrete pad that
Mhm.
has the solar charging table.
Mm-hmm.
This proposal relocates the solar charging table to the opposite side of the bleachers from where it is now.
Okay.
And because it would be in conflict with the location of the batting cage pavilion.
Basically just going to sit on the left field pole and.
Can you just orient me? Where's the, like, is the batting cages going to be facing towards, like, are they going to be hitting towards the street? Are they going to be hitting towards where the field would be?
My understanding is that there's multiple bays
Goes each way.
and
Oh, okay.
they would probably be hitting towards the field, but
Okay.
that's the way the bays will be set up,
Okay.
orientated like towards the street. I guess it would matter which side of the batting cage you put the pitching machine on and what side you had the plate. That is a question the Little League could certainly answer.
Okay.
And if it's a mirroring deal and you preferred it to be hitting towards the park,
Yeah.
then I'm sure they could, seems like a reasonable condition.
I'm just trying to figure out if this doesn't restrict them in any way, so that could be an option.
Wouldn't they have to, wouldn't you have to reorient the building?
That's what I was trying to see. Does it have to go the long ways?
I think it's like 4 hitting bays and you're hitting the short way and they're aligned on the
Yeah,
long
you're
way.
hitting the short way.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
Oh, I have that. Okay.
No, hitting the short way.
Okay.
So you
So-
get more bays in there.
Mhm.
Are we,
It's not a pitcher's
When we
mound, so
move-
it's not 40 feet.
yeah,
Yeah.
when we move the picnic table with the solar stuff, are we gonna be able to put concrete pad over there, like how, so it'll just.
It'll look the exact same. Mhm.
And our guys we can do that.
Yes.
And then, I know near the McCormick House, there's trees. Does this interfere with any of those trees? And like, if so, are we taking care of that or?
There are some trees. Public Works will take care of them. I believe this orientation avoids the biggest one. Those less trees coming out in this orientation, because as you can see, the plan shows a couple that would have had to come out before.
Just want to make sure there's no like surprise costs to either. us
No,
or-
there was a cost to remove trees in the budget that you guys approved last time.
When the conditional use is submitted, will you have, for lack of a better term, a floor plan that shows the hitting bays?
Yeah, we certainly can. The Little League told me the other day that they have building plans from the company that they're ready to submit. So they can show those and they could be an exhibit to this for sure.
Jim, I'm a little concerned at the location of this thing. It's right on the street. There's no other place on that property it can be located.
This is where it's always been proposed to be located in center field.
Oh, okay.
To be
Go back
here-
to center
to be
field.
honest with you,
This is
the
center field.
Oh,
the original master plan, Tessie, had it spun 90 degrees and pretty close to where the township's garages up top there in the middle of the page. And it was actually gonna, because that was the D district, it was gonna be even closer to Worcester Avenue than it is.
Yeah,
to-
I'm not
to Old
so
Penland.
concerned about Worcester, but I am concerned about the frontage along Penland there. And I don't remember seeing this big box on here in previous plans.
It was definitely on there. It just was a little bit different orientation.
Okay,
Closer to
well,
right center.
No, it was like dead center field, basically.
okay. My last question is I'm not a baseball person. Do they have to have this at all?
If you talk to the Little League, this is like the most important thing for them to be
More
able.
important than restrooms and concession stand?
They cared
and a
about
new
this more than
sign?
the restrooms, for sure.
All that's.
Just so you know, Tessie, too, it's, and they showed us pictures like from the original plans, but it's not an enclosed. So it's not like, it won't look like a shed. It's kind of open. The netting.
Not a
you
building.
can-
Netting.
The
It's not a
netting
building.
you can see through, so it kind of almost looks like a pavilion with the netting around it. I don't know if that helps with the
well-
frontage, but.
Is your concern the balls or like flying towards the street?
No, I don't, I'm pretty sure the balls will be,
the look-
well, it's the look of the thing.
Oh.
You know,
I think there's an existing batting cage there now. I mean, a batting cage really is just net and it looks like a little pathway. So that they can throw the ball to them and then they can hit. It's all open from all
Yeah.
sides.
I don't want to see it. That's
No, I'm only
that's
telling
my
you, 'cause you said
concern.
you weren't familiar. Are
I don't want to see it. And I don't know.
you thinking
Do
it's going to
all-
be an eyesore?
Yes. You know, if it could be moved back from the street, I would be much happier.
I don't know if there's enough room to move it back from the street, would put it into the outfield.
Yeah.
There's a house there that, you know.
You see, like, you can kind of see where the edge of the field is. And then there's the McCormick House right there.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going on record and saying I don't think it's going to be a great addition to that frontage.
Well, I can appreciate that, but it's a baseball field, so everyone's going to love it.
Will they?
If they're
will-
playing baseball, they
will
might
be
love
able
it.
to provide feedback on the design and everything, right, Jim, before they.
Do you want to see a pic? I have a picture. I don't know if it's going to help or not.
I know, I think it will help. It's not.
All right, that doesn't look so bad.
All right, it helped. It helped.
Can I see, is this the real
It's from the company, and it's a similar one. that they built.
That looks more like a barn than I thought. Okay.
It's a pole barn.
It's a pole barn.
They have one at Plymouth?
Yeah.
This one,
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
in
in
this
this complex, it's gonna fit.
This one is Plymouth's.
Can we put a cupola on top of it so it looks sort of like a barn? A little windmill on it, or maybe a silo on the,
So there's nothing that we need to do right now. You're just advising us that this.
No,
is the
I
path
didn't
forward.
want, and staff didn't want this to blindside you
Yeah.
in a month from now. So I figured we'd get some feedback now.
I mean, to me, I think it makes sense in a complex like this, just from, I guess, your expert opinion that there's nothing that will cause any type of danger to the kids or to any people around it. Because to me, when you have a complex ballpark like this, batting cages just fit in. I think it'll make it more appealing for other, player, just, I think it's appealing.
Yeah, I don't see any issue with batted balls coming from the field itself because of the netting surrounding the batting cage. And then when you're in the batting cage and you're hitting, I don't see an issue with balls leaving there because they're going to hit against the net. So.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a great addition. I think it's fine. I think this is long overdue and.
They have to be red.
one person is a baseball.
I don't actually know that it's gonna be red.
Yeah.
That was the one that's at Plymouth's facility now. It's the same company that's building this. But I would bet that your Little League wants to match the color scheme throughout the rest of the,
Blue, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
the
sure.
dugouts are blue. I think the building itself will be blue. So
I'm sure.
I'd imagine this matches.
So one last question. We haven't decided or discussed much about what's going to happen to the existing old schoolhouse. Is this going to, so you said it's going to be 20 feet away from it?
Yes.
All right. I'm just wondering if that's going to leave enough room to, I don't know, if we want to put something, use that building, utilize the building as part of the park eventually.
Yeah, I think the building code speaks to a 10-foot minimum setback, so this would be double that.
Okay.
So I think that you could continue to use that building, or if you decided to take down a portion of that building, there'd be plenty of space for a contractor to maneuver, and it doesn't hamstring you in any way, in my opinion.
I want to see a beautiful pole barn when that thing is done.
All right, I will relay that information.
Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome.
Next up on our agenda is, I guess it's a memo from our recreation director related to a request for expenses from the EAC. And it included in the memo, it articulates that Paige Metten with JourneyWorks reached out inquiring around the township and if we could consider sponsoring a pollinator garden for the first 10 Lower Gwinnett residents who sign up. I did see like the sign up sheet, I thought, on our website. Did I just imagine that? Oh, okay. The cost is $75 per garden. So in the fall, homeowners would prep an area in the yard for a garden, which would include sheet mulching. And then in the spring, volunteers would come back and plant native pollinators. Registration would begin in September. It has been successful in the past in helping residents in the greater community gain a better understanding of native plants, pollinators, and how to select plants. Is there any questions or concerns from the board?
This is what we did last year, right?
Yes.
And is it new residents? Like, when you plant the pollen at your garden, does that stay at your home and then it's going to be a different resident who can take advantage of this program, or is it like the same?
I mean, are you restricted after you do it 1 year?
Like it, or I guess I just don't even.
It's presumably it would not be the same people because they've already had a garden installed. So this would be a new set of people. And I don't know if anybody had the chance to go on the garden walk last weekend, but Paige's garden was on there. It's really lovely. So I think it's worthwhile to authorize this money for new gardens.
And there were 10 residents last year who did it.
I believe so, yes.
Sounds good. And if 10 residents don't sign up, like what happens to the donation? Does Journey work like hold it for next year, or do we know? Or do we think it'll get signed?
It'll get,
It'll get
I'm
rolled
pretty
out.
sure, yes, it'll be utilized.
Any additional questions or concerns from the board? Any questions or concerns from the public? Seeing that, I'd like to make a motion to approve $750 donation to JourneyWorks for pollinator garden. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next up is the consideration of a consideration of the text for a historical marker for Gwinnett Friends meeting. Included in the board packet is the articulation of the Historic Advisory Committee's recommendation for the text for the historic marker for Gwinnett Friends meeting. I think it's pretty clear and straightforward. Are there any questions from the board?
No questions. I'll just add that the meeting has approved this, and the Wissahickon Historical Society has reviewed it and approved it, as well as our Township Historic Committee.
Thank you. Any additional? I didn't know Daniel Boone's parents were here, but anyway, are there any additional questions or concerns from the public? Seeing that, I'd like to make a motion to approve the text for the Gwinnett Friends meeting historic marker. Is there a second?
Again.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next up is the consideration of a proposal from Bowman for bridge inspections. Are you presenting this, Chad? Oh, did I skip it? I might have. Yeah, I did. I saw that and I decided no, thank you. Included in our board packet is a memo from our finance director related to 2026 MMOs and non-uniform pension rates for return. The memo articulates the amount that need to be included in our 2026 budget. Or do you want to speak to it, Mimi? Or Melinda?
So this is kind of doing two things at one time. One, I wanted you guys to consider, and it was recommended by the pension advisors, to lower the rate of return on the non-uniform from 6.5 to 6.25%. Basically, what that is that's the percentage we think we're going to be getting out in the marketplace. So at first, your MMO increases, but then you can move on to more stable type of investments, and there's no reason to try to be aggressive because there's no more participants that are going in, and we're just going to be paying out those that are there. And then along with that, it is the MMOs that you're going to be approving. I put in both the MMO for the non-uniformed for the 6.5 and the 6.25 because I didn't know whether or not you were going to approve that or not.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so that's what we are,
But your recommendation is the 6.25.
yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Any questions or concerns from the board? Questions or concerns from the public? Seeing none, I'd like to make a motion to approve the MMO at the amount of 6.25. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
You should also approve the other MMOs.
All of the MMOs?
Oh, she doesn't have to? Oh, okay.
I don't need to?
You needed to approve the change, the reduction in the rate of return, assumed rate of return from 6.5 to 6.25. The others, we just have
You
to
just
show
continue
you
and you
the
needed to show us.
MMO. So you've seen
Okay.
them all. And so we just need the minutes to reflect that the board was presented with.
You need it articulated in a different way?
It's done.
Okay, thank you. Next up, we have consideration of the bridge inspection proposal from Bowman. It appears that the anticipated bridges that we would be expecting over the next, I don't know, is this a year? Includes these 12 structures. And they're identified in, I guess, the work authorization form. You want to talk about it, Chad?
Sure, I can give a real brief overview.
Okay.
So there was an item put in your capital budget for 2025 to start an inspection program for the bridges that you own on your roadways. PennDOT inspects any bridges on your roads that exceed 20 feet in length, but the township or municipality is responsible for inspecting any bridges on its own under that size. So the thought was to start a regular inspection program for your bridges that you're responsible for in terms of developing a long-term strategy for your capital budgeting, get a good baseline of what condition your bridges are in, and start to plan in future years in your capital budget to identify grant opportunities that are out there, whether it be MTF programs, LSA. There's a program in the region called the Retro Reimbursement Program that PennDOT and the Delaware Valley Regional Planning Commission has that you can utilize. So the intent is to start this inspection program and identify what your needs are going to be over the years so you can plan effectively as part of your capital budgeting process. So we expect that, we can complete these inspections probably before the end of the year, and then we can work with staff during 2026 to start to identify priorities for next year's capital budget.
Thank you so much, sir. Any questions from the board?
Just one chat. Are these bridges like these are on our roads as opposed to like, say, the Gypsy Hill one, which obviously
Yeah,
is not?
just on your roads. PennDOT inspects their bridges. The county inspects the bridges on their roadways within the township.
Okay, and when we're prioritizing though, we'll still have those other priorities listed and this.
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
meshes in
we,
with that. Okay.
yeah, you currently have the 3 bridges on your roads that you own that PennDOT inspects for you. Those are currently in your capital budget out in the later years. But yeah, we'll take a holistic approach
Okay.
in terms of identifying priorities regardless of who owns different bridges in the township.
And this is all of them, or this is just the initial list?
We feel this is a pretty comprehensive list. These are more bridge type structures. This isn't intended to cover like, drainage pipes necessarily that run underneath roads, but actual bridge and culvert structures on your roadways.
Okay.
Any additional questions or comments? Seeing none. So I think what we're doing is considering the proposal of $31,300 from Bowman for the bridge inspections in that total amount. I'd like to make a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Motion carries. Next up is the invoice report for September 30th, 2025, included in our board packet. Has everyone had a chance to review? Any questions or concerns about any of the detail? I'd like to make a motion to approve our invoice report for September 30th, 2025. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next up is our finance report for August of 2025. I don't know, Melinda, did you have any comments, anything you wanted to highlight? No? No? Okay.
I did have a question, Melinda. The business privilege tax collections, it said they're well over budget, the
Yes.
budgeted amount. Do we know why? Or is just business booming in Lower Glenmont?
So I reached out to Berkheimer to get that, and they did send letters out this year for people who were delinquent. So these are from prior years.
Gotcha.
So our budget was for 2026, or 2025, excuse me. So that's why I just wanted to kind of point out we're over, but we're over not from the 2025, but from collecting past years that were delinquent.
Wow.
If they're delinquent, do they pay a fine or anything like that?
They have to pay penalties and interest.
Okay.
Thank you.
There's nothing to approve as it relates to our financial report, but I appreciate that. As far as the business privilege tax, do we know how many years they went back, or they don't?
Actually, I can tell you exactly what years were paid that were not 2025 that went back. I can get a report out and it lists out every single year that it collected in throughout the year.
I would just be interested to see how far back you went and if there's more to anticipate, or should we project that this is it?
I did reach out for our 2026 budget.
Mhm.
He's keeping it kind of consistent. I think they put out the letters and they collected some that they were going to get. I will though, show you the report the next time so you
Okay.
can see exactly what was collected that was older so that you have a better understanding.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Did
Thank
it
you.
tell you, Melinda, like how much is outstanding and still owed? No.
No.
Okay.
No, they don't. But as they collect it, they tell me, and there's different reports I could go into to get that information.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm sorry. Do they also tell you what type of business it is that they're collecting from previous years? Meaning, is it the contractors? Is it somebody who came into the township and was here for a couple days and went away and never paid, or?
No, they don't. Now, I might be able to request that. I might be able to request that they tell me the previous year's collections, what business that was from. If you would like me to, I can. I'm not sure if they have that to give me, but.
If they don't have it, that's fine. I'm just curious to know what type of business that would be not paying consistently, or if it's some kind of, transient, like you come in, you do a landscaping job, or you do a construction or renovation or something along those lines, and then you leave.
And then you just leave so we can see what it's about. I will request that information and see if I can pull it together to give to you the next meeting.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. We've been very intrigued by this for a while, so thank you so much. Included in our board packet is our township engineer report for September 25. Is there any questions from the board? Seeing none, thank you so much. Did you have anything you wanted to say?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Included in our board packet is also our traffic engineer report for September of 2025. Any questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, thank you so much, Mr. Dixon. Included in our board packet is our minutes from our September 9th, 2025 meeting. Is there any questions or comments related to those minutes? Questions or comments from the public? Seeing none, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from our September 9th, 2025 meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion does carry. Supervisor liaison reports are included in the board packet for you to read at your leisure. Next up is staff updates. Anybody from staff have an update?
Jim turned the mic off. He didn't want to hear it. Just real quick, this Friday, Shannon Gallagher, Officer Gallagher, that will be her last day of work. She's going to retire and start Monday with the township. So, Monday. So Friday, last day for Shannon. So she's
Friday,
expecting.
October 3rd.
Monday, there'll be a first day for Shannon. Parties both days.
I think
Oh,
that
there
sounds
will be Friday.
I think that's what you should do.
Yeah. So we'll put something, I mean, obviously this happened pretty quickly, so we'll put something together. You'll see her and we wanted to do that, but she'll be in front of the boards soon.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, good. Thanks, Chief.
Anybody else have any updates? Nothing? Sounds good. Supervisor comments, Tessie, it's you.
Yeah, she's not here, but I'd like to pass along thanks to Mary for all of her work through the years. I missed her party, so I hope she has a great retirement. She really deserves it based on her hard work all those years. That's all I can think of, so I'll pass it to the next guy.
Janine, it's you.
Yep, same. Congrats to Mary. We'll miss her. And can't remember if I did this already, but thank you to everybody who helped with Fall Fest and the community that came out. Did we already have a meeting
No,
after
we
Fall?
didn't.
Okay, all right, great. Thank you to everybody, all the sponsors, all of the volunteers, staff, police, public works, everybody. It was a wonderful day, a wonderful event, and it makes me really happy to see the community come together for a really nice celebratory day. So thank you to everybody who had a hand in it and everybody who came out.
Just second, thank you to Mary and everything for the Fall Fest.
Gorski?
I echo everybody's comments.
I just want to also thank everybody for the Fall Fest. It was a beautiful event. We had perfect weather. It felt like the summer and it really wasn't the summer. Thank you to Public Works, the police, or all of the Park and Rec Committee, the volunteers, the kids who decided to volunteer, all of the vendors that came out. It was a beautiful day. It was really truly a perfect day.
Yes, Sandy.
And our recreational Park and Rec director, Sandy Fight, for all of the work and time and energy that she puts into this event to make it successful year after year. Kathy Morris, who is also head of our Park and Rec committee, but I think we need to speak to all of the Fall Fest volunteers that come in and treat this like a job and are invested in making it a success. It's evident in how well it is put off each and every year. Just wanted to wish happy holidays to everybody that are celebrating as it comes up. And with that, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn. Is there a second? All those in favor? Meeting is adjourned.
Second.
Thank you, guys.
I'm like, September was a long month. Did we have, Fall Fest seems like forever ago.
I know, it's because